Welcome to your second class of Yoga Foundations. Today we're going to review the postures we did last class, and we're going to add Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, Utthita Trikonasana, the triangle pose, as well as extended side angle, which is Utthita Parshvakonasana. For the practice today, we're going to need 2 blocks, and the same thing as last class, we're going to need access to a wall with the short end of our mat directly towards the wall. So if you're ready, you can unroll your mats and let's get started. We're going to start today's practice sitting on a block. So you can place the block underneath the buttocks and move the skin of the buttocks to really feel the sit bones on the block. Being on a little bit of height allows us to relax the thighs, letting them drop towards the floor. From here, place your hands on your thighs just above your knees. Close your eyes and come back to your breath. Sitting on the block, you can press your sit bones into it. Inhale deeply, lift up the sternum, allowing for the torso to elongate and to find space in between the vertebrae. Make sure you roll your shoulders back and draw your shoulder blades down the back. Be present here in this moment with your attention on your breath and on your body. From here, you can open your eyes. We're going to come into a standing position, placing our blocks at the edge of the mat facing the short side. We're going to come into Tadasana. Place your feet hip-width apart. Have the outer edges of the feet parallel to the mat. Draw the kneecaps up, the tailbone down. Lift the sternum on an inhalation and stretch the arms alongside the body. Standing here in Tadasana, press the heels into the floor. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Try to touch the ceiling. And bring the tricep muscles closer to the ears. Create space in the armpit. And really reach towards the ceiling. Turn the palms out and bring the hands alongside the body. Inhale once again, reach the arms up overhead, creating space in the body, space in the armpit area, and bringing the triceps once again closer to the ears. Turn the palms out and bring the hands alongside the body once again. From here, bring your hands to your hips. Bring the elbows back. Inhale, lift the sternum. We're going to move into Uttanasana. So we want a straight torso here. Inhale, and on the exhale, fold forward, keeping the sternum lifted. And bring your hands to your blocks, making sure that the blocks are parallel to the shoulders. So we want the alignment of the wrist and shoulders here. We also want our hips to be aligned with our ankles. And as we push our hands into the block, this allows us to have a straight back. So from here you can push your heels into the floor, push the backs of the thighs towards the wall behind you, and press your hands into the block, correcting the upper back. From here, come back to your breath. Now bring your hands to your hips, elbows towards the sky. Press the feet into the floor as you lift the chest, coming back into Tadasana. Take a moment here to feel the effects of Uttanasana on the legs, the stretching of the hamstrings. We're going to repeat a second time, so you can place the hands on the hips, elbows back, fold forward, keeping the sternum lifted, and bring your hands back to your blocks. Push the hands into the block. As you push your hands into the block, notice how the triceps come closer to the body. As we diminish the curve in the upper back as well. Make any adjustments here to make sure that your hips are aligned with your ankles as we move into Parshvottanasana. You're going to bring your right foot back, aligning both heels here. Push the left hip back and move the right hip forward, keeping the hips parallel. Push through the back of the legs to activate them. And place your blocks on either side of the front foot. Push your hands once again into the blocks, correcting the upper back. Be present here, coming back to your breath. And compare both sides here. Notice if there's one side that's stronger, one side that's weaker. From here you can move your blocks forward once again. Bring the right foot forward, coming back into Uttanasana. Finding your realignment, pushing your hands into the blocks. And compare both sides once again. Bring your hands to your hips, elbows to the sky, lift the chest with sternum first, and come back into Tadasana. Making sure that Tadasana is active by pressing the heels into the floor, pushing the thighs back. We're going to repeat the other side, so bringing your hands to your hips, elbows back, bend forward, sternum lifted. Placing your hands on the blocks. And pushing your hands into the blocks to correct your posture. Notice how your hips are parallel. And move your left foot back, aligning both heels. The back foot is on a 75-degree angle here. And the front foot faces forward. Place your hands on your blocks. Bring your hips parallel. And push your hands into your blocks to correct the upper back. Push the thighs back. Making sure that the sternum stays lifted as well. Come back to your breath. Make any adjustments necessary. From here, you can move your blocks forward, step the left foot forward, coming back into Uttanasana, readjust your alignment, push the thighs back, press the hands into the blocks. Stay in here for a few breaths. Now bring your hands to your hips, elbows to the sky, pressing the feet into the floor, lift the chest back into Tadasana. From here, we're going to repeat the same postures and move into Warrior One. Bring your hands to your hips, elbows back, inhale, lift the sternum, exhale, fold forward, placing your hands onto your blocks. Activate the legs, push the thighs back. From here, bring the right leg back, align your heels, back foot is 75 degrees, front foot is facing forward. Bring the hips parallel by bringing the left hip back, right hip forward. From here, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift the sternum and bend the left knee 90 degrees. Push into the back heel. And inhale. Bring your arms up overhead. Stretch the arms up towards the ceiling. If possible. Here, make sure that your front knee doesn't go past the ankle. And make any adjustments necessary to bring the hips parallel once again. Inhale, exhale. Turn the palms out and bring the hands back towards the hips, elbows back. Unbend the left knee. And bring the back leg forward to come back into Tadasana. Stretching the arms alongside the body. Here, compare both sides once again. Notice if there was any resistance in the posture. And now we'll move on to the next side. So hands on hips, elbows back, bending forward with the sternum lifted, coming back to Uttanasana. Pressing the hands into the blocks, pressing the thighs back. This time move the left leg back. Keeping the left foot on a 75-degree angle. And making sure that both heels are aligned. Press back through the thighs. Making the hips parallel, hands to hips, elbows back, lifting the torso. And bending the right knee this time. You can adjust once again your hips. Here you want to make sure that the knee doesn't go past the ankle and that you're pushing through the back leg as if you want to press that heel towards the floor. It's okay if the heel is off the ground as long as the action of pressing to the floor is there. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead and come back to your breath. Now turn the palms out, lower the arms, bringing the hands back to the hips. Press into the back foot, bringing the foot forward and coming back into Tadasana. From here you can place both blocks at the back of the mat. And place the outer edge of the right foot against the wall. Press the thighs back with your hands on your hips. And you want to bring the buttocks lower to the floor and bring the front of the groin out towards the front. Here you're going to press the outer edge of the right foot into the wall, lifting the inner ankle. And you're going to turn the left foot 90 degrees. You want to have the heel at the center of the arch of the right foot. Place the right hand onto the wall and extend the left hand out. Inhale, exhale. Bend the front knee and press the back hand into the wall. As you press the back hand into the wall and the front hand forward, this will allow you to keep your torso parallel. So as we reach forward, we don't want to lean forward, but keep both sides of the torso even. From here, unfold the front knee, bring the hands to the hips, bring both feet parallel, and come back into Tadasana. From here, we're going to repeat Warrior Two on the other side. So you can turn around onto your mat. Bring the left foot to the wall and the left hand to the wall. Find the space in between both feet and make sure that you press the outer edge of the foot towards the wall, lifting the inner ankle. Now turn the right foot 90 degrees, align heel to arch, and bend the right knee 90 degrees. If ever you can't come into 90 degrees, you could always be a little bit higher. The important thing is that the knee doesn't go over the ankle. From here, press the back hand into the wall and reach farther with the hand that's in front to find the even torso. Coming out of the pose, you can bring both hands to the hips, unbend the front leg, bring the feet parallel, and walk the feet to come back into Tadasana. From here, release Tadasana. We're going to repeat the posture without the use of the wall this time. From here, bring your hands to your hips, separate the feet. Making sure that the edges of the feet are parallel to the side of the mat. So we don't want the heel to be too inwards or outwards, but we want to find proper alignment here. From here, we're going to press the outer edges of the feet to lift the inner ankles. And we're going to turn the right foot 90 degrees, aligning heel with arch. And now we're going to separate our hands apart, trying to reach opposite sides here. Inhale, exhale, bend the right knee. Aligning the knee with the ankle. Coming back to your breath here, make any adjustments necessary. You could always look at your feet to make sure there's proper alignment. And release your arms, bring your hands back to your hips, unbend the right knee, bring the foot parallel. Here you can push your legs back, bring the buttocks towards the floor, lift the inner groin. We're going to go straight into the other side. So bringing the left foot 90 degrees out, aligning heel with arch. separating our hands from one another. Inhale, exhale, bending into the left knee here. And from here we can look over our left hand and simply come back to our breath. Make any adjustments necessary, making sure that we're pressing through the outer edge of the right foot to really activate that back leg. We want to make sure here that we lower the left buttocks and lift the inner left groin. To come out of the posture, unbend the front leg, bring the feet back to parallel, and come back into Tadasana. Notice the effects of the posture on the body. From here we're going to come to the floor. So you could either place 2 bricks, one on top of the other, or just one. It depends on how much flexibility you have in your quadriceps. So you can first start with 1 brick. We're going to bring our knees together, heels apart, and we're going to come to sit on our brick. If ever you're unable to reach with the buttocks, you can always place a 2nd brick. From here, place your hands on the soles of your feet with your fingers and your toes in the same direction, palms to heel. From here, roll your shoulders back and press your hands into your feet, allowing this to straighten your posture. Simply come back to your breath and notice the effects of a straight back on the body. Notice the space in between your collarbones and how the sternum lifts the more you press into your feet. From here you can release the posture, move the block aside, and simply come back to a seated position with your knees bent and your feet in front of you. Place your hands alongside the body close to the hips and simply walk the hands back to come back into a lying down position. From here, open your arms alongside the body with palms facing up. Bring your legs together and push through the heels as you unbend your knees, releasing your legs naturally on both sides. Here we come into Shavasana. We try to let go completely any tension in the body, any tension in the face, in the jaw, and the muscles around the eyes. We try to release also any mental tension. And we can do that by coming back to our breath. We can here take a deep inhalation. Feel the wave of the breath going through the torso. And taking a deep exhalation. Feeling again another wave retrieving from the torso. We could take 2 more deep breaths in this way. And then simply come back to a natural breath. Still keeping our mind focused on that wave going through the body. If any mental thoughts arise, we can simply let them come and go as we come back to our breath. From here, we're going to transition out of Shavasana. So you can bend one knee at a time, bringing one foot at a time to the floor. Bend your left elbow, bring the hand to the abdomen. Bend your right elbow, bring the hand to the heart. Here, once again, you can feel the wave of the breath moving through the body. As we slowly transition out of Shavasana. Now bring your right hand to support your head and turn over onto your right side. Here, bring your knees closer to the abdomen, allowing the lower back to round off. And remain in this position for a few breaths. Now push your left hand into the floor as you come back into seated position. From here, you can bring both palms together in front of the sternum. And take a moment here to analyze the effects of the practice today on your body. Notice if your breath is deeper and more relaxed. Notice if you were able to stretch the hamstrings, loosen up the hips, and straighten your posture. I wish you all a wonderful day. Namaste, and I'll see you in the next video.